Right, Jamie, do you and Michael Duff still argue over who scored that goal and who scored it?
No, I don't argue at all. 'Cause I haven't spoken to him for a while. So, but I think we both know who scored it. You know, the good thing is it's up in the air at this moment in time. So, you know, it's a momentous goal, big occasion, big game. But unfortunately, you know, nobody knows outside of myself and Michael.
Do you remember the actual moment where it went in? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, to be honest, for me it was just relief. Because I had a couple of good chances, a couple of sloppy bad headers, you know, a couple of good chances, and for me it was just a big relief that we finally got it in.
Yeah. Okay. What was your? I think you got just over 50 goals for Cheltenham. What would you say is the best one?
The best one, obviously that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like the one at Norwich away in the League Cup. You know, good header, and the last goal I scored against Brighton away. That was a right foot half volley, so that was quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who was the best winger you came up against playing for Cheltenham?
Best winger, probably Scott Murray. Consistent, very quick. They played very well. Bristol City played it into Brian Tinnion, out of his feet, diagonal ball over my head, straight onto Scott Murray's foot, and he was lightning quick as well. He always gave me problems, so I had to kind of cheat and give myself an extra half a yard to try and get a little bit closer to him.
Right. Okay. Who was the best left midfielder who played in front of you for Cheltenham?
To be honest, there's a couple. Obviously, you got Russell Milton, who I'm working with now at this moment in time. You got Martin Devaney, two different players. You know, I linked well with Russ, where I could just give the ball to Martin, and he could go and get on with things and go and drive at defenders. Probably Lee Howes as well. Lee Howes, I played with him as well.
Yeah.
On the left, so yeah, you know, there's a few good left-siders that I've played with.
Okay. Did you realise how good you were? Somebody asks. Do you regret not leaving to fulfil your potential, as you probably could have easily played in the Championship?
Well, you know, in hindsight, you can always look back and say, you know, I could have done this, I could have done that. But you know, I was enjoying my time at Cheltenham. You know, I love the club, love the people around the club, and when you're being successful as well, it always helps. So not really, no.
Yeah. Do you think you could have gone? If you
possibly, yeah, possibly, but nothing really materialised. So you can only do what you can do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see yourself going into management?
At this moment in time, I love working with the kids. I love trying to develop the kids and bring them forward and trying to give them a life, you know, like I've had in football. So that's my main priority at this moment in time.
Okay. Do you ever read fans' forums?
No, not at all.
Right. Okay. If your right foot had been as good as your left, do you think you wouldn't have been released by West Ham? Somebody else.
Not necessarily, no. I mean, I could use my right foot, you know. It was used for standing on, but I could use it for certain things. But obviously, more left footers are more dominant, I think. Yeah. Anyway, but that's probably not a reason why I was released from West Ham.
Did they give you reasons? What did they say? Why you hadn't been kept on there?
Not really. No. It was pretty brief when I went to see Harry Redknapp. It was pretty brief, but you know, I took it on the chin and got on with it, and you know, I knew I had attributes to try and play and go and play a bit further, you know, in the league and things like that. So, but I knew, you know, that it wasn't supposed to be there. So.
Yeah. Okay. Did you know Steve Cottrell's nickname for you was the Claw because of the way you won the ball?
Yeah. Knew that. Yeah. The boys still call me the Claw now. So, but it was the way I used to little cut back in as well. So, yeah. That's good.
All right. Who do you think are the best three players who you played with at Cheltenham who didn't go on to play in the Football League?
Obviously Jimmy Smith, scored loads of goals for us, and probably unfortunate, you know, not to come and play in the league with us. But yeah, he's one of them. Who else is there? Jimmy Smith.
The other main ones that didn't choose to go pro that probably could have done were Jason Eaton and Keith
Jason
Knight.
Jason Eaton, Keith Knight as well. You know, good player. Jason Eaton scored a load of goals as well. He's great to play with. Love playing with Jason Eaton. Really, you know, kept the ball really well and linked up play really well. But yeah, that was unfortunate again, to be honest. You know, it'd been nice if Jason would have played in the league with us.
Yeah. Apart from that, I think most of the ones that Steve Cottrell wanted to keep stayed on, didn't they? And then the others got released. So
that's right. Yeah.
Right. come back to the best 11 later on. How do you feel knowing you're the first Cheltenham player to wear white boots?
Oh God, yeah, they were nice. Don't mind that. Yeah, they were nice. It was a phase I was going through at the time, so a bit flash, but I was young and not naive, but maybe a bit cocky as well. So.
Did you get them supplied by a boot manufacturer, or did you?
No, not at all. No, just bought them. Yeah,
right.
In the shops.
Proper football.
Yeah.
What's your perfect Sunday?
Perfect Sunday. I'm an early bird, so I'm always up early. These days, I'm normally down here.
Yeah.
With the kids and that, so watching them, and then maybe a nice lunch and relaxing afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Are you glad to see Sam Foley doing so well playing in League One now after you sponsored his kit in his final season at Cheltenham?
Yeah, yes, brilliant. Sam, he had a torrid time of injury whilst he was here, but you could see the potential there, and he's come on leaps and bounds, to be honest. And he's come to fruition. His quality's there, and it's very, very pleasing to see him playing league football, because he did really well at Newport as well.
Yeah. How did that come about with the shirt sponsorship then? Was he your boot cleaner or something like that when you were at Cheltenham? Or?
I think he was actually, but for me it was because he'd been through such a torrid time. I just wanted to try and give him a little bit of a boost. So I thought I'd decide to sponsor his kit or his shirt.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you think's the best and worst managers you played under at Cheltenham Town?
I couldn't tell you the worst, but the best, when you look at John Wall, Steve Cottrell, Graham Warner, people like that, fantastic. I've learnt so much from them. I can't single out any of them, but I've taken, the best bits and the bad bits from all of them to try and, improve myself, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I couldn't single out any of them to be the best, to be honest.
Okay. If you could relive one moment from your Cheltenham career again, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Probably that header, I think. I'll relive that and celebrate.
Yeah.
Rather than just, being full of relief.
Yeah.
Probably celebrate, and it might have helped, with the decision of whose goal it was.
Right. Okay. From what you've seen, who do you think's been Cheltenham's best player this season?
To be honest, they've all done really well. All done really well. I don't think I can be biased and single anyone out, because from what happened in the last season, they've done amazingly well to be where they are in the league now, and that shows the mentality of the players, the mentality of the management behind them, pushing them through and keeping them going, and at this moment in time they're in a great position.
Yeah, not easy to do it 2 years in a row, is it?
No, it's very difficult, very difficult. Because you want to come down straight away at the end of the season. So to pick yourselves up, it's fantastic.
Yep. Okay. Probably know the answer to this one as well. But what was the favourite game you played in for Cheltenham?
Favourite game, I like the Yeovil game. Obviously, I like Millennium was a good game.
Yep.
Even though it was a tough game. Wembley was okay. My performance wasn't great, but obviously we went on to win. So that was good. And the West Brom game was really enjoyed that as well. It was a great atmosphere. So close.
Yep.
It's a great game.
Yeah, Cottrell said after the Wembley that you maybe worked you a bit too hard in training. Do you think people were tired, or do you think it was nerves, or what? It was a very hot day, wasn't it, as well?
Very hot day. Obviously the Wembley pitch is different to what we're used to. Myself, I think they tried to nullify our fullbacks, I think, as well, and that kind of spoilt the game, to be honest. But we were fit lads. We were up fit. We had lots of energy. It might have been nervous energy as well, but I don't think it was down to the training.
Okay. Do you think Sam Deering, your first cousin once removed, is starting to show his potential now? Somebody also asked, do you think he'll come close to your number of appearances for Cheltenham?
Sam's always, when we watched Sam a couple of years ago for Barnet, he was fantastic. So the potential's always been there, and he's had to be patient. He's had to be patient. It's a squad game at this moment in time. When you're pushing for, promotion, what we're trying to do here. And you've got to take your chance. You've got to take your chance when you get in, when you get that shirt on your back.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's doing that now. But the quality's always been there. It's just, Sam's mentality to try and be patient. He's still a young lad. Be patient, wait your turn. When you get your chance, can you take it?
Yeah, he's quite a character, isn't he, as well?
He is, totally different to me, I think. Yeah, very, very loud, and it's good to have. It's good to have it in and around the changing room.
Yeah, okay. What advice do you? I mean, I'm sure you've been giving it in your role now, but what advice do you have for young players trying to make it at Cheltenham Town?
Just work hard. Yeah, listen to the coaches. Have believe in yourself. Be confident, and always, like I said, always give 100%.
Yeah.
Always give 100%, because you never know where you're going to be in a year's time or 2 years' time. So it's important that you concentrate on things now at this moment in time.
Yeah. Did you have a preference of which end of Whaddon Road you were defending?
Yeah, I always prefer to go down a slope.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult to go up the slope, obviously, being a left back as well, playing right in that corner, trying to dig balls out and trying to play out from the back, etc. But I always prefer to go downhill.
Yeah, and you usually did that second half, didn't you?
Yeah, normally, yeah.
What was the funniest thing you saw in your career, any on or off the pitch? Any particular funny moments stand out?
Oh, there's a few dressing room things I can say with sandwiches being thrown at people, but I think I'll leave that one there. And tomatoes, falling down people's faces, and yeah, that's about it. I'll leave that one.
Right. Okay. On the pitch, of anything particularly funny?
Oh, actually, I remember Jason Brissett. I think it was at Rochdale. Somebody in the crowd had a whistle, and they blew that whistle, and as the ball came over, Briss picked the ball up. And obviously Rochdale awarded a penalty, and they scored. I think they scored from it.
I think Bucky saved it. Actually.
Did he save it? Did he?
I think it was 0-0.
But that was hilarious. Yeah.
You
not at the time.
No.
Not at the time, but obviously afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, because you knew him from before, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew Briss from Bournemouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I lived with him, yeah.
What were Bobby Gould's strengths as a manager?
He was a big character. Bobby Gould, very big character. Obviously, had the experience of playing and managing at a high level as well. But I would say his character was probably the main strength.
Have you got a dog, and does it have fleas? The old song.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Any idea where that came from?
No, not at all.
It's one of the more random songs, isn't it? When you got that injury against Torquay, what was that like? Because you knew you were going to be out for a year. How difficult was that to come back from?
I just needed to be, patient, and as long as the surgeon, I said to myself, as long as the surgeon does his bit, I will do my bit to get back, to try and get back to the best of my ability, and I knew that hard work was going to be the main priority, to work hard and be in the gym, 3-4 hours a day, do my little bits at home as well, so. It was on my mind when I was coming back, will it go again? But once you get through that barrier, you're normally okay.
You came back at the start of the following season for a few games, then you got left out for one game, didn't you? Because I think Cottrell said you were looking a little bit tired, and then you virtually played every game.
Yeah, I told him I was tired, and he dropped me the next game. But I mean, that was bound to happen, because I was going to come back and I'd be buzzing, and probably doing too much as well, still doing my work in the gym. And I think it might have been a bank holiday where we had 2 games, and I was, I said to the boss that I was tired. He said, "Don't ever say that to me again," and he dropped me. But he brought me on sub, and I think we did all right in the end. Yeah,
Bruffy was injured at the same time, wasn't he? So did you help each other get through that? Both?
We did, yeah. We got very close. He'd done a strange knee injury as well, which was quite a difficult one for him. Mine was a bit more straightforward. But we spent a lot of time together helping each other, pushing each other through, barriers and mental barriers as well. But probably without Bruffy, it would have been a lot harder.
Yeah. If you could, this is another difficult one, Jamie. But if you could pick one player to play in a back four with again that you played with at Cheltenham, who would it be?
I don't know. It is a difficult one. You got Chris Banks, who's excellent. Obviously Mike Duff, who's still playing now. Mark Freeman. You know, I could pick any one of them. You know, you got Neil Howarth as well.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't single out a best player because everyone in their own right, have, you know, different attributes. So
yeah,
it's hard.
You played a bit of left wing, didn't you, for Cheltenham? What was that like, being pushed forwards? And was it Richard Walker? Maybe
That's right. Yeah. I didn't mind it. Loved it. Yeah, loved it because I always like to get forward anyway. So. Didn't like running back. that was the hard part, but going forward was always great. And obviously with Richard Walker behind me, you know, a lot of experience and you know, very strong character as well, and you know, good defender. So you know, and a little bit of a license, so to speak.
Yeah. What was it? The back four of you, Michael Duff, Freeman, and Banks in the middle. You played Southern League Conference and League what is now League Two. What was that like stepping up? Because the back four didn't change much, did it? Until Boca went, it was pretty much the same back four. That's
right. Yeah, and I think you know what we we were a good unit. You know, we knew our strengths as a unit. We knew our weaknesses as a unit as well. You know, Boca and Banksy, you know, they weren't the quickest, so you know we respected that and we had to go and help them out. Whereas you know other times, you know, they're stronger in the air than us, so they'd have to help us out. So you know, different things. But you know, as a unit, we were very close, and we knew what each other was doing.
Yeah. Somebody's asked what your best Cheltenham 11 is, which I know is going to be difficult. But you can, if you can go through, maybe
God.
Not asking you to choose between Bookie and Higgsy, but if you can just go through some of the players who would be in it, you know, without wanting to leave anybody out.
John, it's a difficult one. You know, you got Bookie, you got Higgsy. Obviously you got Mike Duff, you got Neil Howarth at right back as well. Mark Freeman, Chris Banks, Richard Walker. There are too many. I could probably give you 3 or 4 best teams. So it's a difficult one to answer.
Yeah. Slight compromise then. The team that you went up with under Cottrell at the Millennium Stadium, compare that to the squad that went up and stayed up with John Ward. Very different squads, weren't they? Without picking which one was best, what were the main differences between those two teams?
I should think John Ward's team had more pace, I would say. More pace up front, more pace out wide, whereas we had, you know, bit more of a passing team, I would say. A bit more of a passing team where, you know, like to get the ball down, be a bit patient, get the ball wide and, you know, deliver crosses, whereas when I look at Wardy's team, there's so much pace, you know, and on a counter-attack, you know, we're very dangerous.
Yeah. Somebody also asked, which I asked you when I asked you about your job, what sort of things are you looking out for in young players? You know, at an early age, do you think, you know, these players might be able to
young players, technically good. You know, it's very important in this, you know, this moment in time. Football keeps evolving and changing, so technically good. You know, look for pace. Physically, can they cope as well? You know, have they got the right mentality as well? I think they're some of the main attributes that young players need these days.
Yeah. Right, that's it, Jamie.
Lovely.
Cheers for that.
Thank you.